Let's jump right into it. We're going to be talking about cyber attacks, a lot of things going on with that, and also we're going to be talking about data centers today. So let's jump right into it. Over the past couple of weeks, we've seen a couple of news. Cyber attacks has been on the news. Let's put it this way, and we've seen that over 200,000 coronavirus-related cyber attacks has been registered over the past couple of weeks. Now, we're not even talking about 2020. Um, we've seen that big companies have been turning to AI for protection, but that's a pretty expensive service. So, Austin, what about the mid-size and small companies? Are they at risk right now since they don't have those resources?
I mean, absolutely. Every business should be considered at risk for these kind of cyber attacks, whether it's malware, ransomware, phishing, spam attacks. Anything can come about your business, and there's no substitute for dedicated IT support. But whether it's an employee internally providing IT support or an external consultant like we do, managed services, any business with limited means can still make the most about their cybersecurity plan. So, just really quickly, you want to train your employees to have good cyber hygiene, which basically means spotting what a phishing email looks like, using good browsing practices, not going to suspicious websites.
Just be careful the things that offer you money and they are in like different fonts and like they just look suspicious. Just delete them and don't click on any links, or else you put yourself at risk and your account's at risk. But also, I'd like to piggyback on what Austin said about the smaller companies. I would say small to medium companies are definitely more at risk just because they don't have the AI filters that bigger companies do. But Austin did say that all companies are affected currently, and that includes IBM. They actually had like a huge series of cyber attacks recently, and it was so robust that the Department of Homeland Security issued a threat, like warning about the threat.
I would like to know when should a company have a data center, and what's the relationship between having a data center and having a backup policy and doing backups regularly?
I will start with the second question, and then I'll move to the when should a company have their own build their own data center. There is no, well, the difference between the data center and a backup is that you need basically storage to store your backups. So you basically, a data center is just storage where you store information and data, basically data for your company. So you run those backups with whatever backups policy you create, and then you store it in a data center. I mean, you can even store it in a drive, like in a physical drive, but that won't be so big. So usually,
so a data center
big companies,
is a bigger place to store backups and other information. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then to answer your first question about when should a company create their own or build their own data center, it depends. So, for example, for companies in need of a large deployment of cabinets with resources easily available and a data center life expectancy of more than 5 years, it may make sense in the long term to build an in-house data center, like to build it in the company. But for smaller to mid-sized companies and startups, the evidence points toward outsourcing data center needs. And the reason is how much cash in hand they have really available to expend for the upfront cost that comes with building a data center, because you have to buy, you need the space in the first place. It doesn't really need to be in your business. It can be somewhere else, but you still need to rent that space right? To put your hardware, like your servers, the UPSs, and all that kind of hardware that you need to build a data center. There is the energy cost that comes with it as well, because you have all of those machines running 24/7, 365. So there is an energy cost attached to that. Um, so there are pros, and that's actually I wanted to mention that that's the only con I think I see with the about the in-house data centers is cost. Not just the upfront cost for the hardware, but also you need more people to manage it, um, to run updates, to manage it. Yeah. So I think the bottom line is that no matter the size of the company, it is no longer viable to ignore the importance of having a reliable data center. So whether it is a large company with extensive financial resources or a smaller company, let the numbers and evidence guide the decision to determine whether to build or lease a data center. Because on the pros side, you have scalability. If you go with some providers like Azure or AWS, Amazon, you can scale up or down based on your business needs. Like if you need more resources, if you need more storage space, then you can scale up. You can just make your drives
easily.
bigger. Yeah, it's just with a couple of clicks you can make those changes. Suppose in on-prem with your own data center, you have to remove a smaller drive and put a bigger drive, and you have to buy the drive and things like that. So you have a scalability, you have reliability, because I mean, there is no doubt that either Microsoft or AWS, Amazon are great companies that take care of their clients and make sure that there are, minimum issues with their resources and their hardware. So there is reach and redundancy. All that means is that you can have your business here, and you can be doing business in any other place in the world, basically, and your services will get there. By services, I mean your internet, your business dynamic. It will be, you can replicate it over there in that country, because basically there are data centers all over the world. So redundancy also means that if something happens, you can replicate your database. By database, I mean your storage in several data centers. Of course, that's more expensive, but it gives you more security, because let's say you have part of your storage in Hawaii, in a data center in Hawaii, but then you're also replicating that data center in, I don't know, here in Florida. If anything happens in Hawaii, your data is not lost. You simply have to, redirect to connect to Florida, and then you get the same data back, and then you're up and running in no time. But if you only have it in Hawaii and something happens, then you're in trouble, because that was your data and it went away. Does that make sense? So
Yes.
okay, so and then the last one would be security, because it's not the same to try to secure your own data center. You can always have a personnel there trying to, looking out for hack attacks and or cyber attacks and ransomwares and malwares and things like that. But when you outsource your data center to Azure or Amazon or whomever you choose, uh, they make sure that you are in good hands. And like I said, their security, and they try to minimize as much as they can issues for their clients. So
So,
that's
in your opinion, you think a company, if they're thinking of having a data center, they should outsource first as a first
yes.
option, for sure.
Yeah, that would be my first option, unless they're a huge company and they have the resources, because there is also if when you outsource your data center, you don't really have as much control over your data as if you had it in-house. Because if you have it in-house, you can do whatever you want with that data. But if you are outsourcing that, then you are at that other company's, hey, the hardware will be updated when they decide that the hardware needs to be updated. You cannot say, no, I don't want to update this weekend because I'm going to be doing something else. It doesn't work that way because you're not the only client using those devices. It's it's shared among some other clients and things like that. And if you have it in house, you can upgrade it whenever you want. You can delete it if you want. I mean, you can do many things to it.
All right, guys. So let's wrap it up. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Great topic. For everybody watching us right now, follow us on social media: LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Vimeo. Comment down below if you have any question. Go to our website and ask us any question if you need any help. And with that being said, I appreciate you guys for being here, and we're going to see you next time. Take care, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, guys.